Decades ago, a Gilbert woman named Lisa Jameson vanished, and now her son is searching for answers and wants her case solved. It was early in the morning of November the 4th, 1991, when Jameson, who was 23 at the time, had just wrapped up an overnight shift at an electronics business. On that day, Lisa was wearing a pink shirt, blue jeans, and white shoes. She had on a silver rope necklace and a silver herringbone necklace. Lisa dropped off her coworker near McQueen Road and Chandler Boulevard at around 7:15 a.m., and that was the last time she would ever be seen or heard from again, leaving behind Kyle Collins, who was 2 years old at the time, her son. For me, with her, it's more of a feeling I remember, said Kyle. For Collins, its memories comes in waves, the sound of his mom's laughter as well as the energy that she brought into a room. Kyle is a successful recording artist, songwriter, and producer, but he says his childhood was not easy, with him not knowing what happened to his mom. When he was growing up, he actually was ashamed of what had happened because he felt so different, he says. In 1991, Collins lived in Gilbert with Lisa and his stepfather Alan, who worked at the county jail as a guard. The day his mom went missing, she didn't return home and was reported to the police. But Collins says she had one last dinner with her parents before going to that overnight shift and revealed important news. She had just told my grandmother that she was pregnant, he says, and that she was actually scared to tell my stepfather at the time. Alan didn't want any more children, he says, and Alan was never charged and maintains his innocence in Lisa's disappearance. Police officials say Lisa left all of her personal things at home and no money was taken out of her bank account. Family members could not believe she would leave town on her own accord. That was the main argument from Gilbert police, was that she could have just left. She could have just run away. My family begged and pleaded that she would never do that, says Kyle. She would never leave me behind. That's not in her character at all, and we just knew that's not what happened. Then a discovery was made in Phoenix on December the 3rd, 1991, about a month after Lisa's disappearance. Lisa's car, a red 1989 Pontiac Le Mans, was found in the parking lot of an adult bookstore at 48th Place and East Washington Street. Gilbert police say no evidence was found in her car. Initially, detectives questioned Lisa's husband at the time as a person of interest, but nothing came out of it. In 1993, Alan abandoned their son, Kyle, and moved to Bolivia. Kyle was then adopted by his maternal grandparents, Frank and Barbara Collins. Their family has been left with a mystery ever since, and I'm 100% positive that it's foul play, and I don't have a question in my mind, and I believe I know who it is, says Kyle. Officials with the Gilbert Police Department have not publicly said that foul play is involved in Lisa's disappearance. Kyle said she didn't have any enemies, no beef with anyone, he said. She was the sweetest woman, child of the family, and was never even in trouble with the law. Looking back, Kyle wishes investigators did more within the first 48 hours. He also believes the case did not get enough media attention. There definitely was lack of coverage, said Kyle. There was just a lack overall publicizing what had happened. Kyle was asked about the treatment of the media, people of color, by law enforcement and the media. I believe that now things have gotten increasingly better, he says, and will continue to get better still, but it still needs to continue to get better, he says. The fact that it needs to be better says enough. I believe in 1991 it was 1,000 times worse, Kyle says. For many years, the Black and Missing Foundation has worked hard to advocate for families of color trying to find their missing loved ones, and in an effort to bring awareness to cases like Lisa's that are rarely seen on national television. Not one person can name one male, female, or child in the Black or Brown community that has garnered mainstream media. Not one, because it doesn't exist, said Black and Missing Foundation co-worker Derica Wilson. What we're trying to do is make the playing field even, because missing persons is not a Black issue, it's not a white issue, it's an American issue, and it's worldwide. It's a human issue. We all have a responsibility, law enforcement, the media, and the community. Wilson is a former police officer with 2 decades of law enforcement experience. She says cops need more training provided for missing person cases. I can honestly speak to my tenure in the police academy, she says. We dedicated about 1 to 2 hours to missing person cases because missing persons is not considered a crime. And so there's a lot of resources that are devoted to missing persons across this country within this respective police jurisdiction, she says. During his mid-20s, Kyle says learning more about his mother's case in bits and pieces didn't help his psyche. He battled depression and tried to find his own identity as well as closure. Now Kyle is a father to a little girl who reminds him so much of his mother. He admits his life experience shows in his music and art, and there is a huge connection to his art and the situation that happened, said Kyle. I don't know if I could have continued or been able to continue at the pace or the level that I've gone to if it hadn't been for what I had to get out of me to remain healthy. Ready to put the case behind him, all Kyle wants is justice. I talk to my mom every day, said Kyle. I'm not worried about the details and the nitty-gritty. I'm not worried about getting someone who is running around. I just want them to see that they need to be behind bars because it's not something that just happened. Someone's responsible. In 2004, authorities announced that they were going to attempt to match DNA from hairs found in Lisa's car with their DNA sample database. The test was conducted, but the results were not made public. Today, Lisa's son Kyle is an accomplished musician by the name of KC, aka The Dime. He is the owner of a production company, Real Entertainment, and he has never given up searching for his mother. Lisa's case remains active and unsolved. Lisa Dianne Jameson, an African-American female, was born on September the 26th, 1968, with brown hair and brown eyes. She is 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed approximately 122 pounds when she disappeared at 23 years of age. She has 4 piercings in each ear, and she may use the last name Collins. It is not clear if she was pregnant at the time of her disappearance. Dental and DNA is on file. If you have any information about this case, please contact Gilbert Police Department at 480-508-6500, or if you would like to remain anonymous, please contact your local Crime Stoppers.